August 7th. Good morning, Vegeta. Today's another half day for you. It looks like you've gotten a lot better now, but you still should take great care and not overdo it, okay?
Yeah, you're in a lot less pain today, and you've gotten the hang of this a bit more from last time. Today should go well. Alright, do your best! Welcome back, Master. May I take your order? Have a good day, madam. We'll be awaiting your return. Alright, perfect. It's going well, Vegeta.
You're so cute! I love Orion so much. Looks like you've gotten used to it already. Maybe it really does suit you to have Shin boss you around so strictly.
No, I'm gonna say we can do without any more of that. Whew, half the day sure flies by when you're working.
Good work. At this rate, you should be able to go back to full-time next week. Seriously, when I first heard the news from Mine, I was in a complete and total panic. My hands were trembling quite a bit. I ended up dropping several plates in front of customers.
Manager, you were really that worried?
If that pretty face of yours had been injured, this cafe would have lost its poster girl. How frightening.
Oh. Really, everyone was so shaken up at the time. Toma was especially bad. He was going to murder everyone.
Hey, you don't need to mention that.
But it was pretty crazy. You were shouting at Shin, and then you ran off. Sawa was on the verge of tears.
Well, that should be expected. For Sawa and me, it was a really incredibly worrying moment.
And yet Shin was so calm. What?
Mine.
To be honest, I was kind of scared. His girlfriend fell off a cliff right in front of his eyes, but he was still super calm. He called the police and explained the situation, and he didn't even make an effort to search for you.
There's nothing wrong with what he did. He might have looked calm, but I'm sure he was beyond shocked too.
And I heard some scary rumors about Shin's dad being a murderer.
I don't think that's relevant. It wasn't murder, it was involuntary manslaughter.
Even if he didn't intend to kill, he still killed someone. Isn't that the truth? I heard he got drunk and got in a fight with some guy. Couldn't that personality have been passed down to Shin?
I don't think that's how it works.
When I think about that, after what happened that day, it makes me really scared of Shin.
I'll seriously get mad if you say any more. It's true that Shin's father got in a fight and killed someone, but that has nothing to do with Shin. And it's not like you know the details about that incident, or do you? Mane, do you really believe rumors over your friends?
I'm sorry. That was terrible of me to say.
Yeah, I'm gonna fucking stab you. Can't believe I'm thanking you, but thank you, Toma. I was just defending Shin. There's no need for you to thank me. Although I understand why you'd be thankful toward anyone who defended Shin. Alright, that's enough. Shin might be a lonely kid, but he wouldn't hurt a girl he cherishes so much. There's no reason to doubt him. Anyway, why don't we all have some lunch? I love your faces.
Even though the manager said that, it sounds like there are a lot of people who suspect Shin. That's probably because his attitude is the type to rouse suspicion among people who don't know him. What do you think? I'm starting to feel anxious.
August 8th. Got time? Want to go somewhere?
He shows up without calling or texting, and that's the first thing he says when he sees you. He could ask about your injuries, or ask how work's going, or how you're feeling. At least something nice.
Before we'd go to the park, or to the school with Toma. That's about all I can think of.
Oh, wasn't talking about a date. This is to help recover your memories. Hey, In that case, wouldn't it be better to talk about the accident than about the elementary school? I think it's bad not to ask Shin anything and only hear about negative rumors from other people. You also still need to ask Shin about the memory you have of him finding you that night.
I see. So I found you, huh? I don't know what you're remembering, but I never found you. Toma and the others are right. The people who found you were those two guys, Iki and Kent, who just happened to be staying at the lodge. I heard Iki is a college student and Kent is a graduate student. That's all I know.
So even Shin is saying the others are right.
I waited at the lodge for the ambulance and the police to arrive. I knew the police would want to question me anyway. Someone had to stay at the lodge to relay the information to them. It would just make things faster for me to be there, since the police would have called for me anyway.
I see. So Shin didn't search for you so he could explain things to the police. That actually sounds pretty reasonable.
I feel like... This is just my hunch talking, but I feel like he didn't go search for her because he was too scared to see her dead body and wanted to spare himself that pain. That's my guess, I think. For those of you who are wondering, Megan and I had only played about up to the rehearsing the Maid Cafe with Shin in that morning, and that was about 2 years ago, and that was as far as we got. We did watch the anime, but we haven't played through the whole game, so this is new to me.
That actually sounds pretty reasonable.
After you were found, the police car and the ambulance arrived, and I was taken to the station. Our testimonies were different, so the police decided they were going to keep me in hold for a day. But the differences in our stories were really minor. In fact, I lied about them.
What? Wait, why would he lie about something like that?
Now that I think about it, I should have just told the truth from the start. I think I was just upset. You said I ran because he was teasing me in your testimony, but I said I jumped out at her from behind in my testimony. In reality, what you said was closer to the truth. From your footprints, they determined that you ran away from something before you fell. There wasn't really much reason for me to lie about it. That's just what I happened to tell them. Because you see, at that time, I was actually asking if I could go to your room that night. That was hard to explain, so I ended up just making up a stupid lie, like that I jumped out at you from behind to scare you.
Well, it's true that it would be hard to tell the police. Not only that, but you ended up running when he asked.
I actually wasn't kidding at the time, so what you said is technically a lie too, if we're going to go down that road. Although it's still a lot closer to the truth than what I said. But it wasn't anything that was super serious either. It's just that nobody but us knew what we were talking about before the accident, and that trail of footprints was there. It might be trivial, but I still lied. Of course they would suspect me. The only reason I was released was because you cried and defended me. I'm really thankful.
I see. It sounds like you really liked Shin before you lost your memories.
You ended up with fairly minor injuries. I'm covered in bandages, and these are fairly minor? I guess the police didn't see the need to press further. Anyway, that's my side of the story. Do you believe me? Of course I believe you, babe. I see. Thanks. Well, I shouldn't be the one being comforted. You're in a way worse situation than I am. I'm pretty worried, and I'm totally serious. Sorry. I probably should have told you about all of this sooner. Having you ask others just made things more problematic. Your lips are moving and there are no words. When I try to talk about that day, I remember really awful things. Like your scream when you fell, and how long I had to wait before the people looking for you came back. And then you were brought back covered in blood. And all that time I was being questioned without knowing how you were. I saw the cuts on your neck when you were brought back, and it looked like you were bleeding a lot. It's a miracle you got off so easily. I heard later that if they hadn't found you as soon as they had, you might have died. I was even thinking it was my fault that you almost died. I'm just so weak. I can't forgive myself. I couldn't do anything. Nothing at all. You were right there in front of my eyes. Just a few seconds before you were in my arms, but then... Sorry, I still don't want to think about it.
I don't think he didn't do anything about it. He said you might have died if you were found later. If Shin had run off by himself to look for you, it might have been too late. Shin, your quick decision to ask everyone for help is what saved this girl's life. There's no doubt about it.
I was saved thanks to you, Shin. Yeah, you said that plenty of times. You said the same thing every time I apologize, even without your memories. But if I had been more careful about our surroundings, you never would have fallen in the first place. That fact won't change. This is my fault.
Hey, Vegeta! Shin is really sorry about this, and he doesn't seem like a person who would try to hurt you. Your injuries were just an accident, but then again, what was that mysterious memory? It must be some sort of mistake.
Aww. August 9th. What? Who the fuck are you? What the fuck is up with your hand? What? Who the fuck are you? What is up with your hand? What the fuck? Well then, Vegeta, first I'd like to congratulate you on your recovery.
Huh? Who's this?
I don't know.
And also, I was gonna congratulate her first. Don't steal my lines.
Oh, you're precious. I was really surprised to hear about the incident the other day, and it seems Shin has been released. Who are you? To be honest, I was always interested in knowing whether you two were actually dating, but that time was especially... What the... Hey, owner, good morning. I'm surprised to see you here. I wouldn't have thought the owner of the Shinanoji Lodge would come all the way down. Did you come by today to give her some encouragement? Yes. I believed it would be the quickest to ask the person directly concerned, after all.
Toma! Thanks for the who's who.
I've been really concerned for quite some time, but Waka insisted I wait until her wounds had recovered. Anyway, tell me, just how much water does this theory of a love triangle with you and Toma hold? What?
What? That's what you wanted to ask?
Mr. Owner, it's completely false. But I heard she proposed to you in the past, Toma, during our chat over tea.
What kind of questions does this guy ask over tea?
That's when she was in kindergarten. That's a pretty common childhood thing. Okay.
Toma, when we grow up, we should get married. Oh, so that memory was... Wow, you really did propose to Toma back then. I know it was only kindergarten, but do you think you made any promises like that with Shin, too?
Maybe. Oh, Mr. Owner, I see you're here. Hello, Waka. Beautiful as always. Oh, stop that. You really are a charmer, and even more so these days. Anyway, would you mind releasing our employees now? It's about time to open the cafe. Oh, yes, of course. Go along, Toma. That came out of my mouth weird.
Vegeta, does this mean you're supposed to stay behind?
Okay, Toma, let's open the cafe. Sorry, Vegeta. I can't do any more for you.
Oh no, there they go.
Now then, Vegeta, we should be able to talk in peace about the incident.
It looks like you have no choice but to go along with it. Still, it's not like you know much more about the incident than anyone else, right? Wait, but this person is the owner of the mountain lodge that everyone was staying at that day. Doesn't that mean he was there when the incident happened? If that's true, he might know a lot more about this than we do. We should be the ones asking him questions.
What the fuck were you doing when I was dying? Of course I did. I know the area better than most others, so I figured I'd be the first to find you. But the person who found you first, Kent, his actions were most impressive. It seemed like he and Iki were calculating something. Then they ran off and brought you back immediately. I'm sure they were checking altitude contours on a map, then made calculations based on the point from which you fell. He even checked your height and weight with Shin.
What? Really? I guess he knows a lot about maps.
If you're interested in the events of that night, why don't you try asking the other guests? I could give you the guest list if you'd like.
Wow, that would be helpful. Since he's offering, you should take it.
But this is really quite intriguing. The victim decides to reinvestigate the case. True mystery in the making. I've read many stories like this for fun, but I've never encountered a genuine mystery myself before.
What?
Also, what kind of truth did you witness for yourself? Well, you're defending Shin, that I know for certain, but I'd like to know why. Do you have any sort of doubts about the accident? Was this truly an accident with no suspicions whatsoever?
I'm glad you seem to be enjoying yourself here. He also seems really fixated on this incident, but it was just an accident no matter which way you look at it, right? Huh. Also, you came here to work, but it seems like he won't let you go for a while.
Please, get out of my face. I don't know who you are. This is weird. I don't like it.
君と終わらない